Underrated mix.
This is the Young, Black, and Gifted Podcast.
Underrated made it.
Underrated made it.
Underrated made it.
I am your guy, Underrated, otherwise known as Ed. And my counterpart, go ahead and introduce yourself, bruh.
It's Quan, a.k.a. Young __LL. Shout out to the cameraman, Olo Ka, Uncle Ka.
That's a fact. That's a big fact. So, Quan, how you doing, man? How was your week?
The week was great. It could always be better, but just grateful to be alive, man.
It's a fact.
I'm actually grateful for the opportunity to be here too.
Yeah, man. I see you this 2 weeks in a row, man. You on time, man.
I was actually
you showing off, man.
Early.
Yeah.
It's at 7:30. We get about 7:15.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you being on time and just being a part of this, man. We on to something good here, man. I just want to keep up the momentum.
Yes, sir, ski.
Keep everything moving in the right direction. You know what I mean? So you mean your week was good?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just going with the flow and everything.
Yeah. I had a pretty decent week, man. I think for me, man, I'm just like burnt out. I touched on it a little bit last episode. I'm a little burnt out with like going to work, like being a worker.
Yo, ain't we all? You know what's crazy, man? My uncle, he was like, "Yo, it's weeds over here." I'm like, "Yo, it's raining." He's like, "So."
That's what. What you doing? Landscaping?
I do everything.
Okay.
Almost everything.
Yeah, man. I don't know how much longer I could be a worker, so I'm begging on this podcasting or this beat making or whatever we got going on. Something got to work because working just burned me out, man. But everything else, like anything else I do outside of that, man, I'm like,
it's like
super excited.
Man, if you believe in fate, anything gonna happen. Everything gonna fall into place.
Absolutely.
I think you're a great producer. You know what I'm saying? This shit right here, we might be low right now, but trust me, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, man, we gonna definitely get there. Like, and this is just the beginning. So, I think as far as getting the attention of the people, consistency, and just people just seeing. I mean, we got something good here. It's just about promotion and getting ourselves out there. But even if not, the people that it's meant for, it'll attract. So,
and also, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna touch on a lot of things that's relatable. So the more people relate to it, the more people gonna gravitate to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying?
No. I mean, well, I think that's the last thing that we will be. That's why, like, I wanted to state that too, man. This is the Young Black, and I want to put emphasis on gifted. You know what I mean? Not educated, but gifted. Not educated in the sense of having degrees and going to college and going to school, but gifted in a sense because we have the ability to do anything and learn anything if we put our minds and our hearts to it. You feel me?
Yeah, and even with being gifted, sometimes you need a little push to exercise your gifts. You know what I'm saying? Because some people aren't.
I agree, 110%.
Aren't in a position to have somebody push them, so they don't exercise their gifts.
I think that's what makes us so special is because that's pretty much our story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hearing you talk about your childhood, mine, knowing Kai, like that's our thing, and here we are. You know what I mean? Nobody pushed us to be sitting here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We took initiative and we placed ourselves here. So I feel like that's what a lot of that is. A lot of what even whatever our successes are going to be throughout our lives is going to be us placing ourselves and pushing ourselves. You know what I mean?
I always tell people this. One of my homies used, shout out to Used to This Is Money.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that the richest place on the planet is the graveyard.
Want to break that down for me?
Basically, a lot of people had a lot of gifts, talents, or ideas that they just never
And
utilized, and
they
they died
wasting
with
them,
it.
yeah. Shout out. So you shout out somebody. I want to shout out a good friend of mine. I don't know if I should call her by name, but I'll call her by name because that's how I know her. I don't know. I'm not gonna call her by her Instagram moniker, but Mercedes. That was one thing I told her. One thing she said to me some years back. You know, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You know what I mean? And you know that kind of stuck with me, man. Like, you know, you can have all the dreams in the world, you can have all the talent in the world, but you gotta put that footwork in, man. You gotta put, and a lot of the times that's what the difference between being good and great is just the drive. You know what I mean?
Also,
Putting in that work.
Also, that entitlement, it holds a lot of people back. I'm nice at ball, so somebody's just gonna pick me up. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
no,
bro, you gotta put that work in.
Even, I mean, but shit, even if you think about like, you know, you talk about ball, but even when I think about like a lot of athletes in college and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Most of the time, majority of the time, they aren't college students. They're just basketball players. But
Going to college.
now think about those guys that don't make it to the. I mean, how many picks you get in the NBA draft per year? 60? What is it? 60?
Yeah, but it's only
Is it
like
2 rounds or 3?
Yeah, but it's only like 500 jobs in the NBA.
You know what I mean? But I mean, you figure that 18, 19 to 21-year-old, he wants to be in the league. He wants to be playing. He don't want to, you know, I feel like the job coaching or doing anything else outside of balling is something that you kind of like pick up as you get a little older. But you got to think about that, man. Not everybody gets the opportunity to make it to the big leagues. So then what? You know what I mean? What do you do? What do you do with your time? What do you do with yourself? So, you know, I guess, you know, for those, I guess having an opportunity to get an education, you know, is one of those opportunities that you probably shouldn't take for granted, no matter what your gifts are.
That's crazy. I got 2 examples for like this. Not basketball, it's football, right? So I just saw one of my homies the other day. I ain't gonna say his name because I want to put his business out there. But I popped up on him at his restaurant.
Okay.
And I was like, "Yo, bro, your son still play football?" He like, "No, he quit." I'm like, "What?" He had like four rides. Bacon on. Like, "No, he quit to go be a rapper." So I'm like, bro, you still could have rapped and played football because like he was in the USA game. I'm talking about people from like Texas, Nebraska, Ohio, and he was a quarterback, a black quarterback at that. And you know how hard it is to be a black quarterback in the United States of America. It's very difficult because we got the stigma.
I think I don't know. That's pretty tough, man. I think. Go ahead.
Also, it was this other dude named Renard I used to work out with. Like old head. He coached Newman Grady High School. And his son played football. He trained his son all the time. You know what I'm saying? And his whole goal was he wanted his son to utilize his football ability to go to school. He said he didn't care if he went to the league. And guess what? He go to Delaware State right now, full-ride scholarship. And he said what separated him from everybody else, they trained like his other kids, he wanted it. While the other kids was just like, oh, I don't feel like working out today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like working
Yeah,
out
that's stuff that you can't teach, man. Like hard work ethic, you know what I mean? Good work ethic is something that you can't teach. But just to touch on the part where you talked about like the parent and having his son, I think that's just and I'm speaking to this point from my own experiences, right? I think sometimes we want so much for our children, and we see the potential, we see the potential for how great they can be, that we may tend to push them a little bit too hard.
Also, to get back up there, sometimes we see ourselves in our kids.
I mean, I think that's what it is all the time. I mean, if you ask me, I think that's what it is all the time. Anytime a parent is like pushing their child to do sports or entertainment, and they're like, yeah, I think that's what it is a lot of the time. Now, that's where that was something that I wanted to touch on too. I think that's something that we as parents have to be mindful of, because it may be in them, right? So even what you was just talking about, the guy chose to be a rapper over football, and football might have been the best choice as far as being successful was concerned, but where was his heart truly at? Where is the passion at? You know, it's easy for us to say on the outside looking in, even as his parent at the time, right? To say, you know, you should have done this. But I think one of the things that we as parents tend to overstep a lot of the times is what our children truly want. You know, especially in the black community, you know what I mean? We tend to have this thing like, you know, I'm the parent, you're going to do what I say. You know what I mean? So it's just something, I just think that, you know, and you know what, I'm a stop right here, because having you actually walked me into a conversation, and it reminded me that I wanted to dedicate this episode to my daughters, to my older daughters. So we got Shyla, we got Brianna, and we got Imani. So, saying that kind of made me think about them, but I wanted to shout it out. I wanted to shout them out, without getting too deep. You know what I mean? Things have been a little rough. And if people know me, they know me and my 3 daughters. It's been that way.
Great dad, by the way.
I appreciate that. But a lot of people that know me just know those. I do have other children, but for a long time it was just me and those 3. You know what I mean? And with me being a father at such a young age, it was a lot of stuff that I didn't know. You know what I mean? So in turn, I may have messed up in some areas, and it has affected our relationship, right? But even with them getting older, and you got to realize too, they're women, so how they process a lot of things is a lot different from how we as men may do it, right? So I understand that too. And they may be hurt, you know what I mean, by certain things. I'm not perfect, but one of the things I want to do is one of the things I've been doing for them is leaving the door open for them, letting them know that when the time is right, whenever they're ready, that they could come in, right? Because I think a lot of the times, especially this is something that I've experienced.
Our community.
Exactly, right? So those parents who may have hurt the children, and the children want to express that to them, the parents don't want to hear it,
Or also, like, you sometimes be overbearing and, like, emotionally push them away. Like, I ain't talking to him. I ain't talking to my mom.
Yeah. I mean, but I also feel like, even if so, I feel like that, like, I'm not going to talk to my mom or I'm not going to talk to my dad is some stubborn exercising my rights as a human being stuff. But I know from my own experiences and watching some other people that at one point in time you're gonna want to talk to your father or to your mother if they hurt you, no matter how stubborn you are. Like at this age, they real young, so they just went through the majority of their life having to listen. So now they're getting a little older. Like I said, I got a 19 and 18-year-old. In their mind, I'm grown. I don't gotta listen. You know what I mean? Nice. But at some point, because life, it'll catch up to you, right?
It ain't the same.
You know what I mean?
Outside high school.
Yeah. So that's just life lessons that I know that they have to learn. But my point is that I want them to know that, and I've made this point to them, but I'm gonna say it live here that whenever they're ready, that door is open because we need to fix it, man. Even with everything that we doing here, like it would be just so dope to have my children a part of it to some degree, and I think because I've been that overbearing parent and that pushing parent because I see the potential and I have the dreams, I have the goals, I have the plans, you know what I mean, that I've been a little too hard, you know what I mean? And as a result of that, they go astray. But nonetheless, like I said, it's going to be a point in time where I know they'll come back. So my thing is that when they're ready, that I'll be, my point is to be prepared for them. So again, I just wanted to, before we move any further, I just wanted to dedicate this episode to them and let them know that everything that I do and don't do is still for them. And I love you.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to add on to that.
Mm-hmm.
This is for parents and children to, like, always repair relationships that's damaged.
Mm-hmm.
On the last episode, I said how my mom died, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mom and my sister was beefing for years and years and years and
Wow.
years and years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? My mom passed. My sister regrets it every day. Cries.
She didn't get a chance to fix it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's, I think God gives the hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. And sometimes we don't know how strong we are until when being strong is all we got. You know what I mean? So that's an unfortunate situation. But I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
Always believe in fate.
Yeah. So that's an unfortunate situation, but that might be designed to help your sister to become a person that for herself. And then that's what I'm saying too. Like that goes back to I could want what I want for my children, but they have to want it. I could want them to be the best basketball player that the world has ever seen, but if it's not in them, then it won't be. Even if they have the ability to do so, you know what I mean? So it's just you live and you learn, and then that even takes us back to our last episode, Quan, when we was talking a little bit about just not knowing. I think we touched a little bit on fathers and how young men growing up with fathers, where do they learn these things from? I think it's just a long line of that going on in the black community of not knowing. Misinformation, misguidance, you know what I mean? And what it does is it traumatizes people. It hurts them. And so what I believe we're going to do, Quan, what we're going to be, excuse me, what we're going to be the generation to do. Again, I always like to compare this generation that we're living in to the middle child generation. Shout out J. Cole, you know what I mean? But
Never heard of him.
you know what I mean? I'm big bro and little bro all at once. I'm dead in the middle of two generations.
Never heard of him. But now I feel like
We're going to be the ones. I just want to say we're going to be the ones to break the curse.
of course.
Everything just by having these conversations and doing the things that we're doing is going to change a lot of things.
My mind's always been like, man, I ain't really gonna break the curse, but I'm gonna put a crack in it, and it's gonna, spark something.
And you gotta fit okay, because and then we got children, so why not? You see, that's why I brought my son. Like I wanted him to know and see what I'm doing, you know. And although he's young and he's more concerned with playing the video game, but this is gonna be a stamp in his.
They're gonna pick up on it.
You know what I mean? And even if it's not doing this, whatever it is that he wants to do, he's gonna know that he can do whatever he wants because he doesn't know me for doing this. You know what I mean? So
They know you for being cool, daddy.
yeah. So you set good examples for your children. They'll follow suit. And that was another thing that I touched on last episode that I want to, and it's just like an ongoing conversation. I feel like, you know what I mean? No matter what we talk about, I feel like it's one big conversation that needs to be met, that needs to be had. And it's just important that we begin to set good examples for the upcoming generation.
Communication is always the key, and understanding and communication are so close you can't really tell the two are different. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I always say, because you communicate with somebody, but they might not understand what you're talking about.
Yes, and yes, I've experienced that a lot too. Just being misunderstood, you know. I know one of our key points is going to be we say there'll be relationships. So I'm not going to go too deep, but in a lot of relationships, I always felt like misunderstood. You know what I mean?
What the fuck you telling?
Yeah. And again, if you ask me, it just goes back to all of those things that we continuously talk about. I think that maybe my inability to be understood is from not being shown how to express myself in a certain manner. And maybe even whomever I was dealing with, their dedication to misunderstanding me is a flawed way that they were shown how to do things. You know what I mean? So I think that it all boils down to everybody doing some soul searching, looking deep inside themselves, you know, and it's not easy. But if you want to be better, if you want to do better, it's really as simple as that. You know what I mean? If you want to be better, if you want to do better, then no matter how tough it is, you know what I mean?
You're gonna do it.
Just like what we doing right now. Like I said, it's not, this may be hard for people to dedicate to, who knows, right? But, like me and Kai was talking about, like, we was able to, he said it wasn't even, not even a month. Like, it was only a couple of weeks. We talked about doing this, and then here we are.
It was like maybe 2.5 weeks.
But I'm saying, since we brought you in, so let's call it about a month, because I had brought the idea to him before I brought you in. I talked about bringing you in, bringing my nephew in.
Me.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, we talked about being here, and we just tripping over how everything is falling into place at a rapid pace. You know what I mean?
But I'm glad to be here. I ain't gonna hold you.
Bro, you a part. I mean, this was built. You are a staple in this, so this don't really work without you. So I'm glad to have you. If you're glad to be here, I'm glad to have you. So
I just make the dream work, but we gotta get rid of these cowboy coasters, bro. I'm not feeling it.
That's all. I'm used to it at this point, man. I'm used to the cowboy coasters, man. This is the cowboy castle right here, man.
There's too much negativity in this room.
Yeah, you think it's like that now? Wait until the season come in and he start having the football Sundays.
That's cool to go like what?
And they playing at 8:00 at night, and then they win.
0-17?
You think the coasters is bad?
0-17? 0-17?
They was 0-17. They ain't never been 0-17.
They're gonna be this year.
Yeah. So all right. So since we talked about sports, man, we were supposed to do this last episode, and we got super sidetracked, and I don't want to do it, but I can't get sidetracked by looking at your jersey.
Oh yeah.
So Quan, I'll say this about Quan. He's one of the only
East Coast Warriors fans.
Yeah, Genuinely though, I say, you know, I can remember, you know, I only know we might have met in 2013 maybe.
Nah, nigga, it was 2012. It's been 10 years.
No, I wasn't working there at 12. I ain't start working there till 13. So it's coming up on 10. I know I'm telling you
Damn, fucking up my
but no,
brain.
it's 10 years, but not exactly 10 years. So we more like 9. But I remember I ain't worked the whole 2000. I had got out of jail in 2011, spent the whole time 2012 without working, and then I didn't get a job until at Family Dollar. I got hired at Family Dollar and I got hired at Dills down the street.
That's a testament that you could do anything. Don't hold yourself back.
Nah. And at that time, bro, I was just so happy. You know, I had my daughters. That was who I was. So I was just so happy to be home and be with them. Like, you know, even like I think about, you know, not to go back, but, you know, even like on birthdays, I ain't had no money. You know what I'm saying? Like I bake them cakes and shit like that. But they were so young, they enjoyed that type shit. They enjoyed pizza and baking cookies on, you know what I mean? So that was probably like some of the best times. Like even being in a position where I didn't have the money to do certain things, but you know, we made the best out of what we had. You know what I mean?
Listen, sometimes it ain't about the money. It's about the effort and the
Yeah.
memories. Like, trust me.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I listen. I love my daughters to death, but I would listen if they want battle. They don't want this work. I got too many memories. I'm gonna chew them right on up. They start talking crazy. I'm gonna let them live. I'm gonna let them be upset or whatever.
Crap.
But if you want to start talking crazy, I got mad memories. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want these bars.
I ain't there yet.
So anyhow, I was saying Quan is one of the only, if not the only genuine Warriors fan. I can remember him being a fan of the Warriors when they got smoked in 2014. Who y'all lose to in the second round?
We lost to the Clippers. Remember they was fighting in the tunnel.
Yeah. Y'all got smoked. No, let's just say that.
No, we lost. Game 7.
Who won a championship that year? Oh, who won a championship that year?
It wasn't the Heat.
It wasn't the Heat, but who was in it? Who was in the finals? That was Bron last year on the Heat. Okay.
All right. That's all right.
So we hear Quan with his Baron Davis jersey on.
B Diddy.
Get his throwback Warriors fan. So let's talk about it, Quan. Let's talk about y'all winning y'all what? Fourth ring in 6 years? 8 years?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad efficiency either.
I mean, we what, 4 for 6? I mean, 4 out of 6. So
That's not bad at all.
yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know what's the percentage on it. What's that? About 80%? No, that's more like 75. Nah.
60 something.
It's more than 60, bro. I feel like it's like 70. Yeah, 60,
I
70.
don't got the calculator. That's too much right now.
Because the three would be 50. Yeah, so it's more like 70. Yeah, that ain't bad.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna hold you. Everybody dialed them out. Like when you look at the stats, they said 86%. Tongue twister. 86% chance the Celtics were gonna win. Then 14. Everybody was like, "Yo, they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna win."
I ain't want them.
Boom.
I didn't want them to win. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Chris, why?
Why? You want to know the real reason why?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Them niggas is light skinned, man. I told you that already. They the light skinned capital, dog. Like I thought the Lakers was until they got Bron, but now it's Golden State.
Who's LeBron? Oh, you talking about Ramon?
Yeah, but we gonna talk. Let's give the Warriors their flowers. I want to give them their flowers, man.
Of course, you know who's the GOAT. It's not GOAT James. It's GOAT Curry. Oh my God, Curry GOAT.
Goat, yeah, goat.
Curry GOAT.
Okay, I like that.
Shout out to Wardell.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the series a little bit. I know we're a little late, but we on time. So let's talk about it. At any point, did you think that it was over? Did you think? Honestly.
Nah. Come on, man.
You knew? They won 3 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, just like they did in 2015 against LeBron James.
Smoked them Bulls.
No, I knew.
But they won 4-1 against them. The Brown only
No,
got.
it was
Dang it.
2015. 2015. It was 4-2. They was up 2-1.
They did win 6 games and 6.
No, but I knew that it was going. I knew it was over after game 5, because I see like everybody was deflated. But I also saw how the other light skinned boy JT, he just kept folding. Like Andrew Wiggins was strapping that boy like a seatbelt.
He go over there. They're gonna be like the Power Rangers if he end up on.
And Marcus
It's
Smart,
morphin' time. It's balling time.
and Marcus Smart, the flop god. He might be worse than Chris Paul. Yeah,
I don't think he worse.
Go watch the tapes and Al Horford.
I'm gonna watch it. If you send me I'm pretty sure they got a flop compilation on YouTube.
And Al Horford, get the fuck out of here. Joel.
They had a nice. They had a. I think
had a
Boston
great game
had
one.
a great team. They could have won.
They
I
did.
think the difference was the experience.
I don't think it was experience. I think they didn't take advantage of the mismatches. They just kept doing 1-on-1. Like, the Warriors, the tallest man.
So why don't you do that?
But the Warriors' tallest man
Inexperience.
is 6'9".
That's my whole, yeah.
That could be true too. But the
Yeah.
Warriors' tallest man is 6'9".
That's my point.
They wasn't the Celtics wasn't posting up. They shooting threes. I understand the inexperienced thing. You're talking about.
That's how I felt. Yeah. So because if you know if those things present themselves, that's like you saying, I'm not gonna walk. Them niggas be shooting down there. Niggas always getting killed down there. So I'm not gonna go down. Your experience tells you not you know what I'm saying? Put yourself in that predicament. So your inexperience allow you to walk in there blindfolded.
Yeah, that's true. But
you gonna make the adjustment.
But you got some niggas talking, man, I go the fuck down there, man. Niggas ain't fucking
Airheads.
Niggas ain't fucking with me, dog.
Yeah.
I run this fucking street.
Yeah, see, and they be the ones that will
run
be
the
here
fucking
though. That be the inexperience too.
Yeah, but for the Celtics, I felt like they was trying to play the Warriors game instead of playing their game.
Their game. But that's what I'm saying. They didn't make enough adjustments. They could have made. I felt like the adjustments could have been pound the ball in the inside, press on defense, play defense because that's what got y'all there was y'all defense, and then when you pound the ball in the inside, you open up the 1-on-1 for Jason Tatum. Simple.
Nah, bro. Jaylen Brown, not Jason Tatum.
Yeah, but right. I think Jaylen Brown. See, Jaylen Brown. We talked about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is
Butterfingers.
he's a wild card, so he gonna do whatever. He did whatever to get those points. My thing about Jason Tatum is more controlled and structured in his game. Yeah. So that I feel like that idea is going to help him and allow. But when you just playing free ball, he can't get into a rhythm.
That boy Jason Tatum out there texting Kobe and shit from heaven. I'm like, bro, stop that bullshit, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Texting Kobe in heaven.
He coming to practice in a Kobe costume. You know what he did?
He was. But I get it.
I'm like, come on, bro.
I get it because if he does win, is a great storyline. So it's a better storyline, to be honest.
Oh, he trying to be a Kardashian now.
He messed with a Kardashian? No.
No, I say trying to act like one. That's the shit they do. That's the shit they do.
Yeah, no, it would. Oh yeah, set up the.
Set up the storyline.
No, that's what Steph did when he was crying. That's what Rick Ross called them them endorsement tears. Go ahead. He told Bron, yeah, get them tears off. That's them endorsement tears. Them $1 billion tears.
Yeah, so my man top 10 now?
Who? Curry?
Yes.
Absolutely. I will not listen. Curry.
Who you taking out?
What? Well, who in the top 10? Wait a minute.
Let me see. We got Kareem, we got Jordan, we got Bill, we got Wilt, we got Shaq, we got Larry, we got Kobe and Tim. I didn't know who I'm taking out.
Kobe, Tim, and Bron in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You gonna take? I'm gonna take Wilt Chamberlain out of there and put Bron in there. Wilt got to get out of there. No disrespect.
No, I'm taking out.
To the GOAT, huh?
No, I'm taking out.
Who?
Larry. Get the fuck out of here.
He's a white dude. This is the Young Black and Gifted podcast.
Listen, I want all brothers in that joint.
Listen, our league.
Hey, Larry, you cool and all, but it's the brother league.
Nah, Steph top 10 for sure because I don't know if like that was just if I was creating my own top 10, I would definitely have to fit it to where as though Steph could get in there.
I feel like
he's already the greatest 3-point shooter of all time.
But he's an anomaly. Like you ain't never seen a player like that.
And then does he got any regular season MVPs?
Got 2. Remember
and then it's finals MVP. Yeah. He's definitely top 10. And if for nothing else too, you talk a lot about influence. I think his influence on the game has been so great. Yeah. A lot of people don't like it, but still, it is what it is. You know what I mean? People didn't like what AI did.
And listen, people forget that Vince Carter had his little wave too. Everybody was trying to be high flyers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was that era there. Yeah. That listen, I don't know if you was there. Was you born there? When in the dunk contest 2003 when he put the arm in the room?
I think it was 2000.
Oh, I thought it was 03.
See, look at you fucking up.
But I was a little older though. 03,
I think.
So 2000, you definitely wasn't born in 2000. Gotta get him. You know I gotta get you every time. So how old was you when that Joel came out? I was 14. I was about like 9. Yeah, so that was about.
I was 8.
Okay, so that's about the right age.
No. I was
2000.
7 turning 8. Yeah. But I was like watching a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't like heavy in the game, but then I remember 4th grade when AI went to the finals. That shit was all over the whole city.
He said he was in the 4th grade when I went to the finals.
Yeah, that's
I was in the 8th grade. Yeah, so I was about in the 8th grade.
It's just all over the city.
Kyle was just talking about that the other day. I wasn't there. He was grinding me up for that. He said when they won game 1, he said I was outside. They was out there. I said no, I don't even think I was awake after the. I didn't even see him step over. I ain't find out about that until the next day at school that he stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
see AI?
We didn't talk about that at recess.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you said he was out. Kyle said he was out there on Broad Street, out there for real. Yeah, but Steph definitely top 10. That's something that I would have to revisit. That's maybe something that we could do for a future episode. We debate we come with our top 10s and we debate them. That'll be a good good little segment.
Right, so.
But Steph definitely, I don't know if he makes my top 10. If I sit down with it, I don't know if he makes my top 10 because I'm no white boys, no light skinned niggas. No, I'm messing. I don't want to get canceled. But Steph definitely deserves his flowers. I just, because I'm a LeBron fan, so I grew a hatred for him because he was.
You say that.
No, that's exactly what it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it honest. So I didn't like him after the first year. And listen. Shout out to Shiz and Shiz over there at the office podcast. He another one too. He another genuine fan. He was a Lakers fan back in
75.
No, I don't even think he ain't that old. 75. He was always a Lakers fan. He probably one of the
even when Kobe had the baldy.
Always, like he's always been as long as I known him, he was any 49ers fan.
He got the Kobe Moesha jersey.
He probably the prom the Joe Kobe wore to the prom.
Yeah. No, he was on the show. You know what I'm saying? He got Crenshaw. Got the Crenshaw joint.
But I brought Shiz up because Shiz was rooting for the Warriors. He a light-skinned nigga. Shout out to him. I was like, yo, these niggas making me mad, man. And them niggas was with it.
Light-skinned niggas, man.
They was with it. But no, shout out to Shiz though. He definitely was a original Lakers fan. But I grew like a disdain for Steph, man. And I like who you call it? Clay. I like Clay.
What he said? Fucking bum.
Yeah, because Clay the cool one. Clay the boy that, you know what I'm saying? But Steph, I don't know.
What about the boy Draymond?
I don't like Draymond either because he was another one that was giving us a hard time.
So, all right, fine.
He was giving us a hard time.
I got one for you. Mm-hmm. What does this do to KD's legacy?
Nothing, because with KD, listen, if I'm KD, I'm doing whatever the hell I want to, man. I'm and now if niggas really want to get in that, I don't give a fuck about nothing that happened when Jordan was there. I don't care about no LeBron. I'm doing what I want at this point. You feel me? And because he already did that. You already been a villain. So KD don't strike me as the type of person that wants to be the good guy, wants to be the savior. He don't care about that.
Not a villain.
So
more of a snake.
who you remember the boy? What's the boy name? I got a DJ Meech. You know him?
No.
He do all the voiceovers. He do all the voiceovers, but he say he always do that. Call Kevin Durant the snake.
Yeah, he's first. He snake Russ is like, yeah, I couldn't win with Russ. You know what I'm saying? Threw him under the bus. People forget that I won the Warriors, lost their little lead.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Russ.
What it be?
Russ. That wasn't KD fault.
Was it?
Russ. I don't know. I ain't see it. I can't remember.
He went like.
But it can't be KD fault because KD. My thing is Russ strikes me as, and I could just now mind you I might be. Yeah, but no, but that's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that he just seemed like the person that because I can't even say, because even as an alpha male, I feel like an alpha male is secure within themselves that they could step aside a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the alpha male was like, oh, I have to be seen, move aside, let me do it, and can't do it. You feel what I'm saying? If you know you can't do it, then you're going to do what you got to do for the betterment of the team. It's a team sport. So I don't know if it's so much of a alpha male I want to call him, but I don't know. It's something about him. But it's clearly something there that he need to fix because it ain't been working out for him.
To be honest, can't fix it.
Yeah, it's something there.
Because an old dog with new tricks, it's always going to go back to the old tricks. no matter what.
Yeah, he can be I was seeing reports that he could end back up in OKC and all that stuff like that. But even with that, like it'll be over. I feel like anywhere that he go, that's not and because he's such a great player, he is a great player that he's tied up with all that money and those contracts and shit. Like it's gonna be hard for him to go somewhere else, and unless he's willing to take a pay cut, and he probably not gonna do that. He don't even want to pass the ball. He ain't giving.
If he do pass the ball, he just. I mean, I ain't gonna call him.
Do he? But I don't know. It's Russ. I don't know.
He's just in a bad system. It's like, it's like people only maximize the errors he made because he's playing with LeBron.
I'm not even talking about Bron. I'm talking about before any of that. I'm talking about even in OKC. I'm still on OKC. How it didn't work in OKC. I don't know how you don't make it work with KD. You feel what I'm saying? Like my thing is if you're having a bad game and you're the point guard and whatever this, just set your team up for the win, man.
I think it was also a system because at the time, Westbrook not a shooter. You know what I'm saying? But once you shoot the ball and you space out that floor, it gets way more opportunity. But when you only got one shooter on the floor, you know what I'm saying?
Who was the one shooter?
KD. Remember
okay.
They had, what's the boy named Roberson? Can't shoot. Perkins can't shoot. Steven Adams can't shoot. Westbrook can't shoot. KD can shoot. You know what I'm saying? When you got just one shooter out there, it makes everything a little more difficult in today's game. You know what I'm saying? But let's not forget that KD went like 7 for 23 or some shit like that. Game 7 versus the Warriors. So, yeah, can we really blame Russ? Because I know if that was, listen, if LeBron went out there and shot 7 for 23 in Game 7, that would be his ass. And listen, say.
Why would LeBron ever do that?
I'm just saying. Listen, peep this.
He would never do something like that.
Peep this, right? Peep the scenario.
Yeah.
Remember when LeBron got dehydrated? Oh, man.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
Remember when LeBron got dehydrated in the finals versus Spurs?
Okay.
They had to carry him. Oh, man, Jordan would have never done that. I'm like, yeah, but Jordan never played in a 110-degree basketball game.
Yeah, you know I don't know. People, I never got into like comparing Bron to like Jordan. Like I had the
Jordan, no. He definitely
who?
LeBron's definitely over Jordan.
Yeah, I never got into that, and I actually had the luxury of being a part of both eras. I probably had more of the LeBron era than Jordan, but I was definitely moving around during the Jordan era and his greatness. I remember I was in about the second grade when he returned from the retirement.
Yeah, because he was gambling. Don't believe the retirement.
Yeah.
Don't believe it.
So he yeah, they say that conspiracy theories and shit. But
allegedly.
The only thing that really compared him to to Jordan to me was the number. And I get it too because after Jordan left, the league was looking for somebody to come over and take over the league. So I feel like that was the marketing plan as far as LeBron James was concerned. But to really compare him to Jordan is just like, it's really not a conversation. I feel like I don't know how you skip over. I don't even know how we skip over like the likes of like a Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? How you skip over Magic? But so all right. So let me ask you this: what would be what is the most common thing in comparing LeBron to Jordan? What do people say?
The number.
No. I mean, like when people argue their case, if people say, all right, if I say
number, rings.
My point. So if you think about Magic, I think Magic did it 5 out of 8.
5 out of 9.
It was 9. Okay,
yeah.
5 out of 9.
But Steph over Magic though.
5 out of 9. So, and that's not and he did it. He was doing it before Jordan. Yeah, he did it before Jordan. Jordan had to step his game up because of him. But you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like that's why I don't really get into like. I feel like every player is unique in their own way, and they all have contributed what they contribute to the game. So even like a Steph, like I would never get into like Steph and Bron. Because Steph may end up, I think the way the kind of game Steph plays, that he'll be around a lot more longer. I feel like now LeBron will be around for a nice amount of time because of how he treats his body, but I think Steph game is going to enable him to play.
Just run around.
Yeah, it's going to enable him to play for a nice amount of time. But that's not a conversation for me, Steph and
of course,
Bron.
I figured you said that. All right, fine. I got a conversation for you.
Okay.
I didn't know the answer. KD or LeBron, or how close is it?
It's not even close.
Yeah, no, it's not.
If you want to talk about them two, it's not even close because Bron is it. He is how Jay said it. He said, "Don't don't go with the flow, be the flow, something like that. Bron is the flow.
I believe that everyone wants somebody to surpass LeBron. They tried it with Kawhi, but it didn't work.
Yeah, well, that's because Kawhi is a perfect example of what I talked about too. No matter how much you want for a person, they got to want it for themselves. Because he could have been that. When they won in Toronto, I was like, oh, like Bull probably really the truth. And then even watching that over that summer, watching the free agency and all that.
Everybody went down for the Warriors. Everybody went down. Clay went down. DeMarcus went down. KD went down. Also, they got there because of a bad call. He did walk versus the Sixers on that damn shot. He walked. He ran with the ball for one, but they tried it with Kawhi.
So do the Sixers make it to the? Who did they play?
They played the Raptors. Remember?
Who did the Raptors play in the Eastern Conference Finals? It was probably Boston.
Yeah.
I think it was Boston. Yeah, so Boston don't beat Golden State, and I don't know if the Sixers beat Golden State.
Of course they won't though. But I'm just saying they went to the finals. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think the kind of the type of ball player that Kawhi is, I think he was in a great position to take over the league. You know what I mean? And he could have redesign or redefine. I don't know the right word.
Even
the
so,
league
they're trying to with
reestablish.
Giannis. They're trying to with Giannis right now.
Yeah, Giannis is. I'm not buying into that. I'm not buying into Giannis.
I like him as a person.
No, Giannis is a great guy, and I like him as a player. But I just feel like he's going to have to go somewhere else. That's what I figure about Giannis. If Giannis is going to have to leave Milwaukee. Yeah, and nobody. I don't think anyone wants to go to Milwaukee to play with Giannis. I think if anything, Giannis is going to have to go somewhere else.
I don't think he's leaving. But who else we got?
He was ready to leave before they won. He was ready. I think. Remember, he unfollowed them and everything. He unfollowed
but sometimes that'd be speculation because they said Kyrie was supposed to do the sign and trade, but he signed back to he opted in to stay in Brooklyn.
Okay.
But they said nobody wanted him. But who knows?
I mean, you got to think of. I mean, even if you talk about Kyrie, you have to factor in everything. Does anybody want Kyrie? Look at it. I mean, it's kind of like Russ. Look at no matter how good of a player he is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like having a cute girl with a shitty personality. You know what I'm saying? Don't know how to treat people. Don't nobody want that.
No, they just don't want the antics that come with him.
It's bad for business, and if it's gonna stop, I mean, I'd rather not. I'd rather not spend my money on that bullshit. You feel what I'm saying?
Listen, I rock with Kyrie for what he did. You know what I mean?
He ain't wrong. I don't think Kyrie is wrong, but I just think from a sense of business, you know what I mean?
Trust me.
People going to definitely consider or reconsider before making that kind of investment.
I understand, but whatever. But we have some players that fall off the face of the earth.
Who?
Samaj, demands. Oh, my fault. James Harden fell off.
I'm not a James Harden fan.
Oh, no more.
When was I ever a James Harden fan? I don't think I ever liked James Harden, to be honest. Huh?
Cap.
When you ever see me like James Harden? I thought he was a good fit for the Sixers, but I ain't never.
I remember you said, they're going to beat the Warriors, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. No, he said, yeah, you said like James
No, not me. I don't think I ever been a James Harden fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never was a fan of his style of play. Now, but see, that's what I'm saying too. Like me wanting them to beat the Warriors ain't had nothing to do with James Harden. Had everything to do with not wanting to see the Warriors win.
Right, so who we got winning the championship next year?
I don't know, man.
I don't make a bet right now too.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that because you don't know who's who and what's what.
That don't matter.
I mean, it's easy for you to say that because your team is established and they don't got to make no adjustments.
Listen, when my team won, now after they lost in the finals, I said they was going to win the finals next year. They won 19 games. Then the next year, they lost in the play-in.
And that's what I'm saying. So much stuff could happen over the course of the NBA season. You know what I mean? You never know.
Now we can make a bet later on down the road. Loser got to get a baldy. Matter of fact,
bro, all right, let's go on to the next thing. He keep talking about this baldy shit.
No.
What?
No, you can keep
ain't nobody doing that shit, man. Like, what?
Keep the hair. Just shave the beard.
I'm not doing none of that, man.
Shave all that shit off.
So what else? What's our next topic, Quan? We spend a wealthy amount of time talking about sports.
Relationships.